Many of the wines you find on menus across Arizona come from right here. The Southern Arizona winemaker you're about to meet isn't just putting Arizona wines on the map, he's blazing a trail on uncharted territory.
Welcome to Dragoon Mountain Vineyards, home of Cellar 433 family of wines. Here in Wilcox, Arizona,
Winemaker John McLaughlin wears many hats here at his Southern Arizona vineyard.
I'm a purist, so I feel the winemaker should be a winemaker. I think if your hands aren't in the grapes, if your hands aren't in the vineyard, you're not a winemaker, you're not a vineyard.
He also likes to experiment.
The number of grapes that I currently have growing as far as varietals is roughly about 100 different varieties. That's traditionally a lot. Most people usually do 3, 4, 5.
And those grapes produce several lines of wine, including Arizona Angel, Sultry Cellars, Bitter Creek, Jerome Winery, and Odyssey Cellars.
The reason why I grow so many different varietals is to see what is going to grow very well here. And we don't know. Arizona is an unproven, untested ground. So those of us that are actually growing and planting right now, we're the trailblazers. We're trying to figure out what's going to put Arizona on the map.
And figuring out which grapes will do that for Arizona has also turned John into an innovator.
So I decided to start picking at night because I wanted to have cooler grapes because they're easier to deal with, they're easy to ferment.
As the sun sets over the vineyards, the night harvest is about to begin. John meets with his picking crew, which includes 2 French winemakers interning with John.
Arizona wine wasn't really what is really new for us because first of all I was like, what, they're making wine in Arizona? And yeah, it was pretty good to know that and to come and discover the way of winemaking and how they do wine with the weather in Arizona. For me it was just desert and like, wow.
Some of the vineyard we pick by hand. Some of the vineyard we actually pick with a machine. We are the only vineyard in the state that has a mechanical harvester. Once they're picked, you bring them into your processing center. You put them through a machine that's going to separate the grapes from the stems, leaves, and other things. It's called a destemmer / crusher, because what it does is it actually pushes the grapes and pops the skins. The biggest, greatest improvement that's going to take Arizona wine quality from where it was to where it is going now is basically night harvesting.
It's one of the many innovations these interns will take back to their French vineyards.
I discovered some new grapes here that I didn't know that some people don't grow in France, and I learned how John makes wine here, and I learned some tricks. And I'm not going to say that to you, say those tricks.
We're surprising people. A lot of us have taken some pretty heavy-duty, big awards throughout the country that you would never expect. We are the pioneers. We are the renegades in the wine industry. We're doing things, we're having to experiment with things, we're having to come up with solutions that nobody else has ever had to deal with. When I say I'm a winemaker in Arizona, people are like, in Arizona? And I go, yeah. And they're like, why Arizona? And I said, because nobody else is doing it. We are the best kept secret in the wine industry. Technically, we've been making wines before California did. The Spanish conquistadors and the Padres always brought sacramental wine, and they always planted grapes at the missions.